Alrighty guys, welcome back. Today we are doing one, is the band name Chicago?
The band is known now as Chicago.
Okay,
Yes.
so we are doing a group called Chicago, their song Beginnings, and this is a 1970 concert.
This is a 1970 concert.
And
this is when they were actually...
At Tanglewood?
Yeah, wherever Tanglewood is.
Okay.
But this is before they were actually known as Chicago. They originally came out as the Chicago Transit Authority.
Okay.
After...
Chicago
Transit Authority.
How creative.
My understanding is that there were issues in regard to them taking that name. And they eventually shortened it down to Chicago. They came out in the... Well, they started to become known around 1969.
Okay.
So this was not too far after it. This was the first band that your grandfather actually went to. Your Grandpa Brown.
Your dad.
My dad.
Okay.
Went to. He and a friend were actually in the Army Reserves at that time, and every year for 2 weeks they had to go wherever the Army sent them.
Yeah.
Okay. And they sent them out to Peoria, Illinois. Okay. And out in the middle of nowhere. And they heard about this band, and they said, "Well, what the heck, why
We're out here. Let's just
go
for it." Yeah.
So here they are in uniform, and they went over to Bradley University, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think Bradley is in the Chicago area.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. But so they go to. Here they are on this college campus, these two guys in their Army uniforms, okay? And they sat and watched the concert, and he absolutely loved them. Came home, bought his first boom box, bought headphones, and had their, they were like these huge things,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not these for my small head. But then again, these would have fit your dad because he had a small head.
Yeah, but these things were like, the earpieces were like this big, they were like earmuffs. Anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, he just fell in love with these guys. And he said, "Oh man, you gotta hear this, you gotta hear this, you gotta hear this." And I thought, oh my God, this is my father.
He's getting into something of our generation.
Getting into this thing,
yeah.
Right? Because you gotta remember at the time, 68, 69, 70, we're in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Everybody was anti-army, anti-military, and all that kind of stuff because of the war, right? So here picture these two guys in army uniforms walking into this, onto this college campus.
Yeah.
I mean...
you just didn't do it.
You just didn't do it.
Yeah, you just didn't do it.
You just didn't do it at that.
Yeah.
So that was bizarre in itself. But here he was touting, "Hey, you got to listen to this group. You got to listen to this group." And said, "Okay." I came to really like them. They have a horn section. Okay. It was an era where the horn sections were starting to come into rock and roll bands.
Okay.
They have a fantastic horn section. Later on, and the reason that we're doing early Chicago is because one of our subscribers had asked for Chicago, but they clarified it by saying the Terry Kath era. Now, Terry Kath was a rhythm guitar.
Okay.
And, backup vocalist and whatnot. And you'll see him here in just a minute because he's the one who actually starts out the song. But he ended up committing suicide.
Oh, damn.
Okay. Guy who took his place was the bass player by the name of Peter Cetera.
Okay.
Okay. So you have the Chicago 1970s era.
Yeah.
And you have Chicago, the Peter Cetera era, starting in the 80s. And the songs were still good, but they were very sugary and sappy.
Okay.
Okay. Versus, versus the Terry Kath era.
Gotcha.
Okay. So that's, so it's two different groups, but I mean, not two different groups, but I'm going to say two different eras of them.
Yeah.
Okay. But they've been, I mean, they're still out playing. Okay.
Right. Okay.
And so they've been out there for 50 years. You know, they're still playing trombone and trumpet and sax and, you know, all the horn section, the whole bit. So, but anyway, this is called Beginnings.
Okay.
There's nothing real special about the song.
Okay.
Okay. Just has a lot of good solo stuff in it, drums in it. This is one of the groups when I started playing drums that I actually was copying their drummer.
Okay.
In most of their albums.
Okay.
So, you know, so there's some good backstory and tie into this. Well, let's go ahead and listen to it.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Let's get started, guys.
Thank you. Terry. That's all that matters. Time passes much too quickly when we're together laughing. I wish I could sing it to you. Oh no, how I wish I could sing it to you. beginning. Yeah, yeah. Only the beginning. It's only the beginning. Only the beginning. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've got to get to the end of my life. Oh, it's only the beginning. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Only just a start. It's only just a start. Only just a start. Trombone. James Pankow.
James Pankow.
That is a heck of an ending.
You like that?
Well, I mean, it's just like it's a brighter sound all the way through. The horns have a really, really, really bright sound until the end, and then it goes really dark for a second, and then that's the ending.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. I see your drummer.
I just had
Your drummer, that was cool. That was cool. And then whoever that trumpet player was, I give them a lot of props for that because it is so hard to solo on a trumpet. It is so hard to solo on a trumpet.
True.
It
is.
I've witnessed really, 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 really great players suck at soloing. And me, myself, I can be, at points, a decent player. But I absolutely hate soloing. Mm-hmm. So I give them all the credit in the world for that. It's easier to have a trombone and go... It's easier to do that than have to try and maneuver 3 different things at once.
Well... You well, first off, just so you know, let's see. That was first off, that was Robert Lamb who was on keyboards and he was the lead vocal, and he wrote the song. Mm-hmm. Let's see, trumpet was Lee, and I can't say his last name. Looks like Lochnan, something like that, Lochnan, and you know, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but. You know, I always liked, this was the first time I ever saw a trombone. Mm-hmm. Okay, it was always trumpets, maybe saxes, okay? But first time I ever saw a trombone who played any kind of significant part. Mm-hmm. And James, you know, so I always liked James Pankow for his
For the trombone.
For his trombone, and he's featured in so many other songs throughout the years. Danny Seraphin, though, who plays the drums, and we're so used to seeing, because we've been doing Queen for so long, and we're used to seeing Rogers,
big band,
his city of drums built around him, and then you see the older bands that. We thought that was a cool drum set. Now picture me in the living room, in my mom and dad's living room, with my drum set. Okay, they had their stereo there. Their gigantic stereo that only half of it had the turntable in it. So here's this thing on. I've got my headphones on, listening to this stuff, and just beating away on this thing. And my parents are like, going, "Why couldn't he have played something else?
Why couldn't he have played when we were home?"
But I played a lot of stuff too. I learned how to play kind of, from Chicago. But just a lot of good memories too, because they always came to our area every year. To the amphitheater. They came to the amphitheater every year. And a lot of good Chicago memories out there. Lynn, Marty, if you're listening,
you probably are.
But if you are,
he was there.
I was there. We were there. So anyway, there's just a lot. The music. Have always loved the music. It's timeless. I think the horn section was the killer part. I always thought. And because it seemed to me that once they hit the 80s, the horn section kind of dying out. They were still there,
right?
But they weren't
as
playing the prominent role.
Yeah, they weren't as prominent.
So, at least that's how I felt about it. It was more about this lead singer and these sweet love songs. Okay, so anyway, but.
I mean, I've only seen
it was a good upbeat
a couple 80s songs, I think. A couple of 80s songs that the horns are a significant part about it, and they were jazz tunes. That's the only reason the horns were a significant part, was because they were jazz tunes.
Right. So,
but something like this, you don't see that much.
So I hope you liked it.
I did. I liked it. I did.
So, good. Well, that's all I've got.
I've said all I've got.
Okay.
I love the group, and they've got a lot of energy, put a lot of energy towards it. And
good. Glad you liked it.
I wouldn't go out and buy concert tickets, but that's what this is for. That's the power of YouTube.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, we didn't have YouTube.
Back in the day when it was a whole $6 to go sit on the lawn. We're out there if we paid to get in without sneaking in. But anyway, hope you liked it.
Yeah.
And I'm all done.
You're done.
And you.
All right. No, it's not my turn. It's the Three Amigos' turn.
The Three Amigos?
Yep, it's the Three Amigos. Hit it, guys.
Now it's time for the announcements.
All right, on to today's announcements. Make sure if you've got a song request or songs that you would like to request, that we do have a form down in the description where you can click on that, submit your songs, and this is just a centralized place where we can go instead of fishing through the comments, finding you guys on social media, stuff like that. This is just an easier place for you all to go, and I'm thinking about integrating Google Forms more into what we do here. So like if we have a Q&A, go down and click the link, put your question in for the Q&A.
Well, it just comes in and it's just like this. It's organized.
Right.
Everything is
organized,
super organized for us.
Right.
So it really helps.
And it probably makes it much easier for you all too, because then you can just put in your song, submit it, instead of in the comments you putting it there and then 6 people burying it under whatever, and then saying, "Oh, you didn't read my comment." Yeah, because 6 people buried your comment.
We read them all.
Right.
We just
we can't find it a lot of
but it
times
got lost.
because they got lost. So this is an easy way for you to submit your song request so that it is a guarantee that we will see it.
We'll at least see it.
That we will at least see
absolutely.
it. So we will try to hit some songs that are on there, but no guarantees that it'll be fast. But we will try our best to hit the songs that are on there to help you guys out. Anyway, on to the next one. Make sure to check out Coffee First, Scheme Later up in the corner. We do have a few vlogs going out, a challenge that's coming out this week. If it's not already out, we have a challenge coming out. The Whisper Challenge. That was a fun one.
It sounded fun.
Yeah, that was a fun one. If you don't know what it is, go check out Coffee First, Scheme Later because I'm not going to say it over here. Go ahead and check that out and subscribe over there to help support me and Courtney over there. Also, if you'd like to buy your t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops, now that summer's coming along, whatever else, you can always do that down in the description below as well with the Bass Player store, as well as the Patreon link that's also down below. If you don't know what Patreon is the membership that you can have to the channel where you can get exclusive behind the scenes, you can get exclusive reaction videos, maybe a vlog here or there, Teespring discount codes. It's something just as simple as one-on-one communication with me and Dad. Dad stories, like I was saying before, so that things don't get buried underneath comments or hitting us up on social media, stuff like that. Patreon is an easy way to get one-on-one communication with us, so it's a guarantee that we will see your message. Also, we give out description mentions and shout-outs to anybody who becomes a Patreon member, just as another way of saying thank you. So we do get to thank the following patrons who have pledged to make this video possible and for being awesome. That would be Teresa Anderson, Hot Space, and Petro, Karen Barone, Sandy Thomas, Courtney Truax, Cindy Rice, and Dawn Kula. Thank you so much for your constant love and support, guys. We really do appreciate it. Even especially during this tough time, we especially appreciate it.
You guys make it so much easier for us to do what we need to do these videos.
Right.
And
advice, support, suggestions, stuff like that.
All kinds of stuff. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And again, thank you especially for sticking through or sticking with us through this incredible tough time. I know we've lost some people along the way. But thank you all to you all who have stuck it through with us. So we're really, really grateful for that. Also, guys, remember at 1,000 subscribers, we will open up the P.O. Box. If you'd like to send us any fan mail, letters, art, peanut butter chocolate fudge, snickerdoodles, any other junk food, anything else, you can always do that. We are less than 100 away. So we are rearing in on the goal of 1,000. So make sure if you would like to help us achieve that goal, you smack that subscribe button down below. Or if you just want to stay involved, you don't particularly want to help us with that goal, but you want to stay involved and stay connected and see the videos that come out every day. You can also do that by clicking that subscribe button down below, and it makes everything 1,000 times easier for both us and for you. So what are you waiting for? Go down and do that now. Do it now. Anyway, anything else that I'm missing today?
Nope.
Alright, so if you all enjoyed this video, make sure to smack the like button, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, guys.